Good morning. So we are here with a JBL speaker, something I don't normally work on, but for the concept, it is perfect for a video. So this is the model right here, and what it looks like. So you can take the whole board out of one of these. I'm doing this because it's a very common fault. This is the control board and interface from the speaker itself. That speaker is pretty pricey, maybe $500-600. But the thing is that they have terrible switches. Basically, the switch is mounted this way, up and down, and when you push, it pushes a little plastic piece against that and makes the switch work. But as you can see, I'll go into the microscope here and show you. As you can see, let's get you closer. There we go. As you can see, it was pushed too hard, and this part here was bent backwards. And this kind of shows you what the button would look like should it be still in this plane of existence. But anyhow, if you've got one of these, rather than spending hundreds of dollars to replace the speaker, or who knows how much to replace this, what we're going to do is we're going to replace this with a push button switch. Looks like this. It's 5/8 hole, this hole right here, 5/8. That's the diameter of the, I don't know what you'd call that, but this part that goes through the metal, and then it screws in. So this will go just like that, and then we will attach some wires to it and then solder those to the board, and you have a working machine, working speaker. I also thought this right here I could route through here and drill a hole so the LED would light up. But I found that with these, all of these, there we go, all of these will light up when you turn it on. So one LED here isn't really that important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this switch. And you know, I don't have to be terribly gentle with it because I'm just soldering directly down to it. So you've got a couple things here. Right here, this is the switch housing. This is basically just ground, nothing to do with the switch itself. As these two right here, and you can't see it very well, but here there are two little what they call hole vias, really is what they're called, but two little holes where this is soldered in, and this is your switch, of course, right here. You can kind of push on that. You can still feel it move a little bit. So basically, in a switch, you just have two things that will connect together, and that's what this does. When you push it, it's a momentary push, meaning you let go and it disconnects, or it does this, right? Push and then let go. So this is a very simple switch to replace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all this out and see what we have to work with. Okay, and also should mention that I could take this whole board out and solder from the other side, but we've got things that are attached this way and things that are attached this way. So you've got things on the back and the side, and you'd have to get all of these to come out at once, which would be kind of a pain to do. So I'm just going to try to snip this off, and hopefully we should have some stuff on here still to work with. Again, this metal piece, this outside piece, is very likely just ground in function, but it's the outside of the switch body. So we're just going to kind of snip this out. It should have just two connections, which it does. And we don't have to put anything back. There's your switch right there. So see how there's two things right here? This is the entire switch right here. When you push it, it just goes connect to these two connect together. So if you did a little short right here, that's just like turning it on and off, just by shorting these 2 points out. And again, this right here is useless, doesn't really matter. So I'm going to just try to get that out without damaging anything else. It's being pain, so I'm just going to wiggle it, come right out. Also, if you're watching this because you have the same problem, you are welcome to follow my instructions. Of course, I can't really guarantee success on your end, but if you do want to send it in to me, just take this board piece out and pop it in a box. You can contact me via email and I can send you some information on how to do this. Okay? So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to clip these out. And I'm going to just clip this so hopefully we have something to work with. Kind of. It's not wanting to cooperate on that one. Let me see if I can get in here from another angle. Let me just do this. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. All right. So we're going to solder to these points right here. There and there. Now, I do have wire that's black and red. Does not matter. This is not polarized. In other words, there's no polarity, positive, negative. It's just two wires connecting together. So, first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of flux on there, and then I will attach this to the back of the switch. So, I'm going to strip these wires just a little. And there's what we're working with right there. Pretty easy. And I may, it doesn't have to be terribly, you don't have to be OCD about it. As long as these two connect, they're not going to hurt anything if it sticks out a little bit. All right, so let me get some flux ready and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to angle this in a way that fits my hand. Oh, you know, I also go through the hole right there. There we go. So I'm just basically going to put some solder on this so I have something to work with a little bit. There we go. All right, there we go. Notice how that just popped down through that hole right there. All right, like I say, you could go the route of taking all of this apart and clearing out these holes. You could really do that, but it's not really that important to do as long as it's connected. So now I will go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and go from the back side here. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm going to do a different angle here because it's just too awkward. I think I'm just going to come with the front here through the hole, and then I'll just route the wires back. That'll probably be a lot easier. I can also cut the excess off easier this way. Oh, that looks much better. All right. And then I will do this one here, and then, like I say, I can just clear out the excess wire that I don't need. I'm going to angle this up a little bit. There we go. This wire is trying to escape. Okay, there we go. So that part's done. So then I'm going to try to cut this excess off. I don't believe it's going to be a problem, but just want to make sure that that doesn't touch anything else, just in case. Let me pull this out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that should be good. And it went right back. Let me pull this back out. It probably is fine, but I just don't want this to go back. There we go. Okay, so now we have both of these connected and should be just fine. Let me move this a little bit here. Yeah, okay. Like I say, if you want to take the board out, if you have this situation, you can do that. But I don't know that it would make a difference either way. It's just really own preference. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I need to attach this to this new switch, and then we'll put it in that hole, and that's it. Okay. So this one has the screw tip, so you could just put your wires through this and then just tighten it down with that screw. And I might as well just maybe do that. You could also solder it, but if it's already got this built in, might as well use it that way. Okay, what I did was I just basically folded these over themselves to fit a little more snug into these holes here. I guess these holes are meant for wire that's a little bit thicker than what I'm using. All right, so if we put it in there like that, let me do it at the top here. Put it in there like that, that should hold it, and it should also connect without any problems. Let's take a look, see if that is tightening down. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so this other one we'll put in the same way. There we go. Good. Now, if this was hot wires or high voltage, I would probably do something as far as covering it up, but it's just a switch. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this, let's see here. Also, I just had to redo something. Make sure that you have this on the inside and then run your wire through so that way you can screw it onto the back of the switch, just like I'm doing here. Okay, finally, I did have to clean this hole up a little bit and make it a little wider, and that way this would fit in there. It was a little bit too tight. So now we're just going to thread this in here. Get that retaining nut right there. And there we go. It doesn't have to be crazy tight, but finger tight will probably be good. So now we got a professional looking push button switch. As far as these go, not a real big deal. I can just kind of tuck them right here. They're not going to cause any problems or anything like that. All right, so let's get this speaker put back together. All right, so we got it working, and that saved several $100s of replacing the major parts of that speaker, and they're back up and going for a couple of dollars in parts and some time. All right, guys, thanks again for watching and supporting the channel. I really do appreciate that, as this is becoming something that I'm really putting my heart into to grow and to help people fix their own things, as well as learn a little bit, and then maybe have just some cool content to watch. So please do like and subscribe, and feel free to comment if it helped you out, and we will see you in the next video. Have a great day.